Well, thanks for spending some time with us today, man.
Of course. Thanks for sitting down. I'm honored to talk to you. I'm a huge fan of yours.
Oh, thank you.
Huge fan might be an understatement. Hi, I'm Jace Diehl, the biggest Pixar connoisseur on the WWW, and that is Bob Peterson. If you take one look at his IMDb page, you'll know that he's pretty cool. Bob has been working at Pixar Animation Studios since 1994, and during that time, he's written the screenplays for Finding Nemo, Up, and Cars 3, co-directed Up, has provided his creative expertise on nearly every Pixar movie from Toy Story in 1995 all the way up to Toy Story 4 in 2019. And as you'll learn, he's provided voices for some classic Pixar characters along the way.
Hello, I am thrilled to be here today, Mr. Director.
His latest project is directing and writing the new series Forky Asks a Question, which consists of 10 short episodes that are all now streaming on Disney+. So if you haven't watched them already, go do it now! I guarantee you'll love the show just like I did.
Wow, that looks like a lady.
Special thanks to Bob for taking the time to talk about his awesome career, and thanks to Chris Wiggum and Betsy Abendroth at Pixar for making it all happen. Now please enjoy this interview I did with the voice of Pixar's most famous sidekicks, Bob Peterson.
Something that I love now is getting to what I get to talk to you about today. Forky Asks a Question.
What's going on?
Where am I?
Why is it like
How
that?
high is that?
Who is that?
Why do you?
Can I swim?
Could that be better?
Why are you
Is it
talking to
cloud?
me?
Even these shorts that are on Disney Plus, they're not being shown in movie theaters, but they have the quality of what we saw in Toy Story 4.
Yeah, and that was a goal. Just wanted to make it look like it was a little slice of life that happened right after Toy Story 4 and before Knifey arrived 6 months later. And so when he says, I was made from trash 2 days ago,
I was made from trash like 2 days ago, so I got a lot of questions, believe you me.
it's right then after they've come back. And so Forky's gone through a little bit of his existential crisis, and now it's just about this whole new world. What does everything do? And so he has a lot of questions, and he launches in.
So what was it like working with Tony Hale?
I'm not gonna be quiet. I was made for soup, salad, maybe chili, and then the trash. I am litter!
I had 2 days with Tony, and we did all 10 episodes.
In 2 days?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's a while ago. Last, I think, December, so about a year ago, I came in with a voice, like something wrong with my voice, and I sounded like Harvey Firestein or something. I sound like Roz a little bit. And so he looked at me like, who is this gargoyle talking to me? But he is the best. He's very friendly and really wants to find the funny. He wants to try different things. And like he'll try something, it's like, oh, whoa, wait, let's try it this way, and then we'll go for it. He loves that character, and so it was just a joy. It really was.
Feels like with every interview I see with different Pixar actors, they're all honored to be a part of this Pixar legacy. Do you see that with other people you've worked with?
Yeah, and it's just fun for me. I've been here for so long. I've been here before Toy Story, and I'm honored to be here. And then I actors who will say, their kids grew up with these movies, or they're young enough that they themselves kind of grew up watching Toy Story. And I think they just know that we're going to really workshop things until we have a good, entertaining movie, one that you feel something or you laugh. And so I think they feel like they're in good hands.
So does being a voice actor yourself inform your directing style in the booth when you're with Tony Hale or anyone else?
Yeah, it kind of does. I know what it's like. It's a little bit terrifying. You get up there and you can't use your body. You have to use the rise and fall of your voice to let things communicate. I mainly just let the actors get sort of relaxed into the role. And usually about hour 2, things will start chugging, and you'll start finding that they are finding gold that they like. And a lot of times you'll be halfway through the script, and then you'll go back to the beginning and, re-get some of the things because you found the character a bit more as you go. Typically, we don't have actors put on a voice. It's mostly just their voice. And I think that's another thing that people really like, is that it's them coming through. And we generally cast for the flaw of a character. For example, in Toy Story, Tom Hanks, he was jealous, and you need someone that can be jealous and yet appealing. So you'll still like the character. And how can you not dislike Tom Hanks?
Any other toy would give up his moving parts just to be you. You got wings. You glow in the dark.
You talk. Your helmet does that whoosh thing. You are a cool toy.
And in Finding Nemo, you have Albert Brooks, who was very worried about everything, worried that his son was in danger, and he makes that worry fun. He's a way to make that appealing.
Son, these are sea lions. They're natural predators. They could pounce at any moment.
And so that's pretty much, for our leads anyway, we think about that a lot when we're casting.
I was thinking about that, where all of the leads have their normal voices, whatever the actors, whatever their normal voices are. But for your characters that you play, you're putting on a different voice. So I feel like you're the outlier in all these situations.
Oh, that's so true.
So how did you get the opportunity to voice all these characters? Like, how did you get brought onto these projects?
I was a story artist back in the 90s, and I luckily was paired with my mentor, who's a guy named Joe Ranft. He's one of the top story guys. Unfortunately, he passed away. But he did voices as well. He did Heimlich and did a number of things.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Early Bird! How about a nice, tasty worm on a stick?
We'll draw the storyboards, commit them to a story reel, which is like watching a cartoon strip over time, as you know, and then put temporary voices. We'll just grab people from around the studio, and sometimes that will stick. And so my first thing was Jerry's game, the old man playing chess in the park. They couldn't get their actor, and they're running out of time. And I had done the temporary voice, the scratch voice. And so they threw me in there. And basically it was just, the whole time is all I was doing. But I had to record it after the fact. So I had to usually record the voice first, but already been animated. So I had to watch the Adam's apple go up and down to figure out what to do. And then I worked on Monsters, Inc. And I created a lot of entertainment for Roz. And they put me in there, and I said, all right, what do you want me to do? And they just said, we need a middle-aged slug. And they put me in front of the camera, the microphone. I knew that Roz, from working in the story, just sucked all the fun out of life, out of the room. She's kind of like a Dementor in a way. And so I just kind of went into myself and just came out. And I thought, well, I used to do sort of a didgeridoo sound when I was a kid. And then I thought about the lunch ladies that I used to have in elementary school. Here's your yellow wax beans. And so then Roz was born.
I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
Whew, she's nuts.
And there was a year of people, because I was the temporary voice. Pixar saying, it's so funny, we can't find anyone else to be as funny. And, it was said, no, he can't act. Get him out of there. He's a no-name. And I'm like, I'm in the room, folks. Right? But anyway, that's how Roz kicked off. And then I went on to play Mr. Ray in Finding Nemo, which is like Roz's cousin, basically. But since I had gone to engineering school, I was one of the writers of Nemo, I supplied some of the technical stuff for, let's name the zones. And then he goes into all the technical jargon.
Epipelagic, mesopelagic, bathyol, epipelagic, all the rest are too deep for you and me to see.
I also interviewed my dental hygienist for that movie, and just to get info for when they're in the tank, dentist office.
Ooh, has he loosened the periodontal ligament with the elevator yet? What am I talking about?
Again, since I was technical, I had to write up all the Schilder technique and all the stuff they were talking about.
Now he's doing the Schilder technique.
Oh, he's using a headstrong file.
That's not a headstrong file. That's a K-flex.
And that dentist that I interviewed is now famous amongst dental circles as the Nemo dentist.
Oh, wow.
But then Doug came along, and Doug is just how I talk to my own dogs. I love you, dog. Good dog.
My master made me this collar. He is a good and smart master, and he made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel!
Again, I was writing, so I kind of knew the character really well. But man, it's been so much fun. I didn't think that would be part of my career.
For Toy Story 4, a lot of people say, well, I say too, that Ducky and Bunny are the funniest parts.
Yeah.
But I love, oh boy, it's a good day to play.
Oh, baby, it's a good day to play, huh? Am I right?
That's you, right? Isn't it? Yes. How'd you
Yeah.
get that one? How did that come about?
Again, it was just, I was a temporary voice in there. And every time they come up, people chuckled. It's funny, I don't chuckle at that one, but everyone says, oh, it's hilarious. It's like, it is? Okay. And again, that was accidental that I made it in there. But it's fun to be part of these things. Like in Toy Story 3, I'm the janitor who's whistling.
better?
It's fun. It's fun for your family to hear your voice and parents. And so I've been thrilled to have been able to do voices.
When you do the scratch voices, are you ever like, oh, I'm a sure-in for that role? Or is it like a surprise when you get cast?
It's generally a surprise. You're just trying to find it, and it'll change as you go. You know, you don't want to assume anything because you're setting yourself up for disappointment. So I just try to get in there and make something as entertaining as I can. And if it goes my way, that's great. But I'm not counting it.
Well, and you have the first voice you hear in Forky Asks a Question. You're the announcer, right?
Yep. It sounds like this. Forky asks a question.
Forky asks a question.
I don't know.
Again, it's kind of the madcap lunacy of Forky to include that. Why is that? There is no reason for that to be. It's not a Toy Story character. I mean, it could have been Forky himself doing it. I spent half my time growing up in Ohio and half time in New York, and so my dad has a very thick New York City accent, and so when you call him on the phone, you'd hear, please leave your message for Bob Peterson, you know. And so it's a little bit of a tip to him, and it's a little bit of a tip to late night comedy shows where they'll say, tonight scheduled, no comedian scheduled, or something like that. So there's a little bit of that there. But yeah, it doesn't belong in Forky Asks a Question. It kind of hints that this is going to be a little weird.
Well, when we're talking about voice actors, I heard that during recording of Finding Nemo, you spilled your lunch on Ellen DeGeneres. Is that correct?
That's true. I never met her, and I'm from Ohio. I'm starstruck. This is, back when Nemo was being made, and so I'm just walking around, like, whoa, I'm with Ellen, and I don't know what she was doing, but her lunch was sitting on a ledge where it shouldn't have been. Too much potential energy there, and I was like, "Hi, Mr. DeGeneres, nice to meet you. My name's Bob." Lunch down onto the feet. She was like sandals, and we both looked down, and then. I do the classic thing. I grab and Kleenexes and I'm trying to scrub her feet. And she's like, Bob, back away from the feet. Now, she's amazing because she knows everyone in that crew from the top down to the bottom. And she'll say hello. We were at the Finding Dory premiere, me and my sister. And she came through, very regally, stopped and moved people aside and came over and shook my hand. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. She remembered from all these years of working together. She stopped and said hello. That was great.
How could she not?
That's true.
Oh, with Bob Peterson. I'm going to remember this interview for the rest of my life. So thank you so much. So many golden pieces of material here. I love it. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And it was really fun doing these Forky shorts. And thanks for watching and appreciating them. I appreciate that.
Of course. They're awesome.
All right, man.
Sweet. Have a good rest of your day.
Forky's going to say goodbye. There he goes. Bye.